what a night. What a night. Ah! I mean, imagine that. Or cut a bit more because I just felt like it.
And it's part of your world from The Little Mermaid. I haven't even started yet.
September 3rd, Dear Diary, what a night. What a night. Ah! It was probably the best night I've had so far. Oh, look at that. I tilted the camera down and now you get to see all my mess. I felt so good about tonight. I told myself while I was in here warming up and practicing a few songs, I said to myself, I'm not gonna put the pressure on me tonight. Even though I did feel like it was gonna be a good show, I did have a feeling that it would be good. I was like, I'm not expecting anything. I'll just sing, I'll try to enjoy it, and that's it. And I really didn't think the audience was gonna like it. Like, I just didn't feel like this was the kind of audience for it. And then it just went so well. First of all, I had a full audience. Actually, first of all, I did it earlier than I usually do. Usually I sing on Vienna nights where they've all gone out for a concert or the rest who have stay to watch a movie. But I start usually around like 11:45 because I wait for the movie to finish and for them all to come back. Whereas tonight I started at 9:30 and the audience was like packed. I was not expecting it at all. And I purposely made a point of saying on the microphone, this is going to be musical theatre. If it's not your thing, I don't blame you for leaving. This is going to be a performance. So just be aware of that. And no one spoke through it really. And everyone stayed and it was so good. And the volume was good. I was a little bit loud, both me and the backing. And then I turned the backing down because someone said the backing's too loud. But no one told me that I was too loud. So I probably should have turned myself down a little bit as well. But overall, I felt volume-wise, it was so much better than it's been in the past. And I think honestly that for me makes the biggest difference with my own confidence and with my ability. If I feel supported by the volume of the sound of me and the sound of the music, then I'm naturally going to relax more and sing better. So that was already really good. I mean, I haven't watched the video back yet. It might be terrible, but I felt really good about it. And then all the songs went really well, I think. I might have had a few little blips, but on the whole, I think it was good. And On My Own went so well. I surprised myself. Again, I have to watch it back. Maybe it's not that good, but I felt like it went really well and I didn't mess up the lyrics, so that for me is a win. And interestingly, it felt like a much shorter song this time round than it did last week. Last week was when I messed up all the lyrics, and this time it just went so quickly and I just felt like it went so well. I really hope that it is good when I watch it back. And yeah, just my whole set went well, and then I finished it and they asked for more, which was just and like I panic when they say more. And you know what? I was saying thank you or whatever. And then one person shouted more. I'll see if I can put the clip in of this. And I just fully ignored them because everyone else was clapping and I was like, I'm not going to sing more if just one person's asking for it. And then more people shouted more and I was like, all right. So if I have the clip of that, I'll pop it in now.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, honestly. Just thank you for your support, for letting me sing for you. It's such a privilege. It's honestly, I feel very grateful and just thank you. All right, don't go anywhere because more. Do I have more? I can, hold on, let me see if I've got some. I can sing Honey Honey from ABBA, yeah? All right, thank you, sorry.
But then it finished, and I know I say this every week, but so many people were just so lovely. And the response tonight genuinely made me feel like I was gonna cry. I had a conversation with one person. Again, someone said I'm wasted here, which just makes me happy. But then I had a conversation with one person who's an actor. And it was really funny because I didn't know he was an actor, and he said like, come sit down. And I was like, okay. And then he said, are you on Spotlight? Which is like the platform for performers, professional performers? And I said, yes. And I was kind of like, ooh, is this going to be someone that's useful to me? A casting director, maybe? And then he said, do you have an agent? And I was like, oh, maybe he's an agent. And I said, yes, I do. And then he said, that's good, I'm an actor. And then he told me a bit about what he does. And then he just said some really lovely things. If you can hear it in the video clip, I'll try and pop them in. Even though it sounds so up myself, but again, it's just something I need to have to be able to look back on, because in a few months, I'm going to be out of work and I'm going to need to hear it. So if I've got that, I'll pop it in.
You did what the West End show did the actors do.
That's what I'm just saying to her, her voice, she could do anything.
It's her favourite musical, and since the business, I'm still top business.
I've not seen better.
But he just said some unbelievably kind things that genuinely made me want to cry. And whilst he was talking to me, so many people walked past and were like trying to jump in the middle of the conversation just to be able to say that was great. I mean, imagine that. It's the same every week. You'd think by however many weeks now I've done this, that I'd get a bit more used to it, but I don't believe it. I do feel like it was a good set tonight. So I feel like it's a little bit more warranted than usual, which is maybe also why the response has been so much better than usual. Not so much better, just better. But it still blows my mind. Sorry. I'm doing weekly vlogs, but basically every week it's just the same thing. But I feel like I'm lying. I feel like I'm cheating, because I purposely pick songs that I feel will show me off well. And I worry that if I were to do any other song, suddenly they'd all realise that I'm actually not such a good singer. I've just like manipulated the set list to show me off as best as I can. Although, that being said, it's not always my best. I don't know. I'm floating. Once again, I wasn't gonna make a video, but I just feel I have to. And it's nice, you know, it's also nice to finish earlier, because we've got an early start tomorrow. This whole week is an early start. Eastern Danube cruise is very early starts if you're doing excursions and things. But I do think it's a worthwhile cruise to do. I don't mean to take away from that. Do you know what else I have spent my day doing? I am looking at cameras. I keep looking at cameras. And then I very briefly spoke to my parents today, and my mum's coming over in about 6 weeks for my birthday. And she asked me if there's anything I want her to bring from Australia, whether that's food, medicine, or what was the last thing? Clothes, because I obviously leave some clothes in Australia. And I said, well, definitely Tim Tams, maybe medicine, but I'll have a look what I've still got, because I haven't really used much, but things might have expired. And definitely no clothes except one pair of shoes. And some jumpers that I'd totally forgotten about that my brother designed and I paid for and he never gave to me, because they weren't ready by the time I left. But all that to say, it got me thinking about my birthday, because every year I think, oh, do you know what, it would be nice to get a camera, and then every year I'm like, no, it's too much money, and even if all my family members banded together, I just don't think that would be enough money, and then I'd still have to take out a large chunk of my own money, and I don't want to do that. But this year I was like, I'm just gonna have a look and see if it's any cheaper in Australia, because the conversion rate at the moment is about half. So if it's $700, it's only about £350, which is, for a camera, relatively cheap. So I looked on one of the main websites that I know, and the camera I have been having my eye on for years wasn't on there. But there was this other one that had a discount, and it went from, I think, $750 to $600 or something like that. And I was like, well, that's really, like, relatively cheap for a camera. So now I've been researching into it, and I'm having a look if it's worthwhile. And then I need to decide how much, or I need to find out how much my family members are willing to band together and pay for what percentage of it. But I need to make that decision sooner rather than later, especially because it's on a discount now and I don't know how long it will be. And I looked in Britain, and it costs almost as much in pounds as it does in dollars. So if I pay for it in dollars, then I end up paying half of it in pounds, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but it does to me. And I filmed a few videos today. I did Taskmaster, which there's going to be a whole separate video about Taskmaster once I finished it all, because Taskmaster started today. Just very briefly, if you don't know, I do Taskmaster with a friend's family every year. This is now the 3rd year I've joined. They've done it for 5 years. There are some videos up on my channel from past years, so I'll link one of them up on either side, whichever side, and I'll link them down below. But that started today, so I got that done. It was my day off, so I managed to get quite a bit done. Washed my hair, cut a bit more because I just felt like it. It was only a very small amount, and it was very rough, and I don't know if it's any good, but the one good thing about having curls is that you cannot tell, really. I think. I hope. But I just don't care. And it just felt it was still a bit dead. Or maybe it's, you know, become more dead. I don't know. But I just had to cut a bit more off, I felt. So did that. Just got on top of lots of things that I wanted to get on top of. Which is good. Because I've been very tired this week. And I've napped more than I've ever napped in the past. So it felt good to spend a day. Like, I didn't get up too late either. I think I got up around 9:30. And then I just did stuff all day, which was really, like, it felt really good. And then to top off the evening, I've just had this wonderful thing happen, so I just feel very good today, which is nice. It's nice to feel good. I think I've rambled for long enough. I'm gonna maybe watch some of the video back, but also I need to sort of go to sleep, I think, at a reasonable hour. And I will see you all when I see you next. Bye! I'm gonna cry. I was literally about to leave and someone knocked on my door and I thought it was our musician because sometimes he likes to knock so we can go together. But no, it was my laundry that I dropped off again at like 6:15. 3 hours. 3 hours. That's basically as fast as they can physically do it. Plus we had gala night in the middle of it. I love our team and I'm so grateful and I can't believe how quickly they did that and just goodness, my vlogs are gonna get really repetitive because it's all just gonna be me proud of my singing and then obsessed with my team here. Amazing. Anyway, I gotta go. It's a sad day for me today. Time of death around 7 o'clock on Tuesday the 5th of September. I've just realised I'm gonna have to blur this because of creeps. So after many years, it's time to say goodbye. They lasted me a good long while. I do have a second pair and I'm getting my mum to bring them if she can find them. I loved those sandals. They were perfect aside from the fact that they were about 5 sizes too big. But it's been, I think, about 10 years since I bought them, so they're allowed to die. Anyway, time for food now. Bye!
Sing it again.